Hey, peoples. Look, I'm still not sure what to do with this channel. Part of me wants to use it as a sounding board for not so much my political beliefs, but my moral beliefs. Which right now, obviously, if you have any common sense, if you look at what's going on around you, if you don't live in a fantasy world, you're going to be siding with the conservatives. For me, it's got nothing to do with them being Christians or uh, what's that movement for Charlie Kirk. God rest him. I say that because he believed in God. He was a Christian and he was a great man. He was a great speaker. He tried to bring people together. There was no vim or verb in him. He just was trying to bring common sense. He was trying to have open discussions and open our youth to the idea of, well, you could be wrong. Let's have a discussion about it. But anyway, I digress. But I'm still not sure what to do with this channel. But as I'm watching this, I'm gonna, play it. I don't know how to do all this stuff. I'm doing it off my phone. So I'll see if I can't piece it together so that it makes sense. I just want to, show, the latest bullshit from the AOC. And by the way, just, real quick, does anybody else remember when it was actually illegal in this country to be communist, to be socialist? Does anybody else remember when the federal government actually came knocking on your door and arrested you for having communist and socialist ties? I mean, they were doing that to people that they suspected of it. Some of them were wrong. But they used to arrest people. They used to put people in prison and in jail for being outspoken communist. Because that's not what this country is about. We are not a communist country. We are not a socialist country. That is not what this country was founded on. We broke away from Great Britain, not so great. They're locking up people for expressing an opinion, their beliefs on Facebook, that they just, hey, they don't want immigrants, just willy-nilly coming into the country, taking their jobs. And they are, Democrats love to fucking joke about this shit. They're taking our jobs. They're not taking jobs. Yes, they are. They are taking our jobs. Because they come in and you got these farmers and industry tycoons that will hire them before they're willing to pay a decent wage to legal Americans, black, white, Asian, what the fuck ever your ethnicity of origin is. Doesn't fucking matter. If you're a legal American, you're an American. Doesn't matter if you're purple with pink polka dots. If you're in America and you are a legal American citizen, you're an American. You're not a black American. You're not an African American. You're not Asian American. God forbid that anybody identifies as a white American. Holy fuck, you're racist. You're just American. That's it. End of fucking story. Put your goddamn flag that you came from down because you came to this country for a better life. Talk about you hate the country that you came from. Country that you came from was holding you down. You couldn't, make a fucking living for your family in that country. So you come to this country and you protest against it, waving the flag of the country you just came from that you proclaim to hate. I digress. It's fucking irritating. But anyway, you're an American. And like I was back to the point, yes, they are taking the fucking jobs. The first thing the fucking Democrats, started saying when, and even, a lot of my fucking, but they used to be my friends. And they're not anymore, not because I said, oh, you can't be my friend anymore because you're liberal or you're Democrat. No, because I'm conservative because I decided no, this doesn't make fucking sense. I picked a side, and they were like, no, if you're with Trump, no, you can't be our friend. So you're evil. Oh, okay, well, go fuck yourself then. But the first thing these people started saying when Trump got back in office, and when he was in office the first time, and when Republicans won almost damn near every fucking thing, was that, oh yeah, let's see what they're saying when there's no more immigrants to pick their fruit or to mow their lawns. Fucking kidding me? Did you just hear yourself say that? So you're actually saying that the only thing immigrants are good for is picking fruit and mowing your lawns and doing the fucking dirty deeds that supposedly nobody else wants to do. Well, here's the thing, Cupcake. No legal American wants to do it because no legal American is willing to take $5 an hour to do these shit fucking jobs. Or $10. No. $5 an hour to build a house. $10 a square to put shingles on a roof. Or I don't know what the going rate is to pick fruit or whatever. Or vegetables. I don't know. I don't do it. Never been my, forte. I used to do aerial construction, run heavy machines, forklift, bulldozers, backhoes, ditch witches, bulldozers. I used to climb telephone poles and trees. I used to build houses too, and put shingles on a roof, but I never put shingles on a roof for less than $25 a square. I never once worked, and this was, back in the early 2000s, the 90s, in the 90s, I never took a construction job for, I think it was, the lowest I got paid, walk on, no experience, I remember. I think I was 19 years old, I was homeless, living in a homeless shelter, and, walked on a construction site, framing, they need, framer, getting experience. Well, I can read a tape measure, I know basic math, and I think it was $9 an hour, what they started me off as. And this was back in 94. That was good money back then. That was real good money back then. And then I remember when I was working at the Morehead City Port. And you had these illegal Mexicans that lived in Beaufort, right down the road, over the bridge. They'd go get a truckload of them, pay them $9 an hour, and that was take home. They didn't pay taxes, nothing taken out. And people that were just starting off at the port, walk-ons, trying to get a spot on the boat, started us off at $9 an hour, but we had to pay taxes. Anyway, that's a different story for a different time. But anyway, like I said, I'm still trying to figure out what to do with this channel. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it like I'm doing right now to vent, or if I want to use it to, film my kids. I figure I don't know how to switch back to my kids on video, but to film my kids, my babies, and show you guys just how crazy they can be. And by the way, I'm in my bedroom right now. I live in an RV. Poor white trash, but proud American. Proud straight white male American. The title of my thing says. Anyway, get back to you. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out what to do with this. Just started this channel out a couple days ago. And Monday, just I'm going to try to piece this together because I want to show you guys something, and then we'll go from there. Anyway, peace and hair grease.